Welcome back, everybody. So glad you could be with me here today. Walter here at the workbench because we're going to do a little interlude here with some shop notes. In regards to the lever cap backing out on the Wood River and the Soba, I figured, okay, I reached out to you all, and many of you commented and said that some of your planes do it and some don't. So I went back to the Bedrock 4.5, and I went back to my Bedrock number 5. They all have the standard keyhole. Now, what's interesting is the Stanley Bedrock has a screw with a bevel under it. Okay? There's a slight bevel under it. So both the Bedrocks have that. And I'm assuming, and I shouldn't assume, but I'm assuming most, if not all, of the similar aged Stanleys will all have that. Now, when I advance the blade to what I call an operational point, where the cutting edge is right there, okay? And if I advance it a half a turn and then retract it a half a turn, advance it a half a turn, retract it a half a turn, it pretty much stays in place. But if I retract it a bunch more, I start to notice it does move a little bit. So that's my number 5. On the Bedrock, if I retract it 2 turns and I advance it 2 turns and I retract it 3 turns and I keep doing it over and over again, you know, sort of like you're in work mode and you want to change something. It's only when I start to really bring the blade set back that I notice it starts to move, but it doesn't fall out. So one of the replies said that they call this jockeying. You know, where like a jockey is riding a horse and he's riding and bouncing up on the horse. So I went back to the Wood River and the Soba, and they have screws with flat bottoms. So their screws are riding directly on the top surface. So if the top surface is not smooth and straight where the screw mates, it's going to move. So when you assemble it and you look under the front of the screw, there's daylight. And the back of the screw is touching. No good. At least with the Stanleys, they've made a countersink that goes down into the groove. So there's that. Because I've taken them all apart, every single one of these. I marked I've marked where the lever cap comes in contact with the blade. The Wood River, it actually is a good amount behind the chip breaker. And then I went in on the Soba and the Wood River, and I took it to the diamond stone just to make sure it's making good contact. The Soba wasn't making good contact at all. So I fixed that. I'm also thinking some of the problem could also be the frog, the blade, and where they're mating. Because I notice on the Wood River, the frog is making contact up here and down here, and this whole area in here is hollow. Maybe a little something here and here. So that could be another situation. Now, while I was at it with the Wood River, because you heard me mention that it felt like it was steering itself. So I got the finest sandpaper that I have, which is 1200 grit. And I went on the granite plate and I lapped it for a while until I started to see some shiny spots. And what I discovered was the sole is not really truly flat. Now, see if I can show you on camera. If you notice, maybe you'll notice it, maybe you won't. There's a polished edge from right about here to here. It's super fine polish. And then there's another bit over here, but nothing in the center. And it's polished a little bit up here. So this brings up a good topic for discussion, and that is back to expectations. I think woodworkers of old had different expectations for their tools because, number one, the planes were made of wood, and number two, they were woodworkers, and part of their training was on how to set up their tools. So that's where we're lacking. We expect a $200 plus tool to work perfectly out of the box. Is that fair? Well, since most of us are woodworkers and not metal workers, most of us don't have granite plates, although they have become so affordable. So this is actually behaving better. So I know it has no burrs, and I know I took a little bit off those high spots when I polished it. So do you send it back? and tell them it's not steering? Or do you take ownership of it and fix it yourself? There's that. So I wanted to give you an update on what I found so far about the jockeying. On this one, let's get it off the wood here. If I go half a turn forward, half a turn back, turn forward, turn back, forward, back, forward and back, I'm starting to see it move, okay, the lever cap. And if I go a little bit more, I can lift it right off. So I think it's multiple issues. Part of it, I believe, is the screw, because it's not completely engaging. Part of it could be the way the blade rests on the frog, and it could be partly the way the lever cap mates on top of the chip breaker. Don't over tighten your lever cap. Feel free to chime in and give me your comments, but I did want to at least update you with what I had found. And remember, I had said that part of the issue with the steering could be what we call a break-in period. So the more you use it, you would find it would be wearing on those high spots, and it would become obvious to you what needs to be adjusted. Just trying to see. Yeah, she's steering a lot better now. Why did I say she? It. Oh, the old timers, they used to call things masculine or feminine. I still haven't resharpened the blade on this. I always like reading your comments. Let me know what you think about this interlude. And if anyone has ever really found a solution to this jockeying or lever cap loosening scenario. Like, subscribe, and share. Head out to your workshop. Go make some shavings. Walter out.